The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Today's a good day, everybody. We are live from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina for their spring open house, which is going on out here at the Aluminum Company, 1335 Hamlin Road, until 5 o'clock tonight or this evening. If you can't make it, that's completely okay because they're doing it again tomorrow on Saturday, beginning at 8 a.m. going till 4. They have things like gift certificate drawings up to $2,500. Let me say that correctly, as well as quite a few of the services that they traditionally offer, including bring in photos of what you have. They can give you an estimate. They can provide special financing. It's windows, it's siding, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. And if you're into this kind of thing, on-site food truck and ice cream truck will be providing a free lunch and snack tomorrow during the open house. Again, all that's out here at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. It's also a good day, and Paul Ihander, our program director and the host of Next Up, is out here with me. He can confirm. I got 1 minute ago a notification on my phone that Tiger Woods birdied.
Can confirm.
So there you go. The Masters is going on. We're on Tiger Watch. And it's a hockey night in Carolina, and that's where we're going to start the show. Hockey night in Carolina means you can hear the Canes and St. Louis tonight right here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm always looking for these last 3 games, really the last 10 games. You can start doing it where you're looking for which team is motivated by what. If you're mathematically eliminated, as much as you say every game matters, you're going to be going out there with a different amount of enthusiasm. St. Louis right now is one of 2 teams in the Western Conference that are not either clinched for the playoffs or eliminated from the playoffs. It is them and Vegas, and guess what? They are 3 points behind Vegas with just a few games left to play, which means they are a caged animal. St. Louis understands that every win, every 2 points is wildly important. What does that mean to the Canes? It means this: you don't want to be in a fight with a caged animal and you're out there just trying to get to the end of the run, right? I've used this example in the past, but if you're playing out there in the neighborhood, right, you're out there with your buddies and you're playing, I don't know, basketball pickup, you're playing some kind of dodgeball, whatever it is. If before the game starts, one guy goes, hey, everybody listen up. I have a piano recital tonight. I'm wearing my recital pants. I can't fall. Right? I just can't get hurt. I can't break my fingers because I have a piano recital tonight. Is everybody cool with that? Guess who is 100% putting a hole in the knee of their pants and breaking a finger that day? It's the guy out there that's doing everything he can to not, right? Meanwhile, the person who's like, oh, I have nothing, they're going to come out scot-free, didn't trip once. The Canes can't go into this game thinking, don't get hurt. Just do the basics. We want to win, but we understand our goals are bigger. If you go into a game against somebody that's playing like a caged animal and you're playing like you're prim and proper and already set for the postseason, that's when the catastrophes hit. You can't worry about the basics. The Blues and the Golden Knights are locked in a final down to the road game of chicken postseason match. The Canes are moderately aware of who they're going to play if the seeding changes in the postseason. It's 2 different mind spaces, but they have to go in thinking, build momentum, thinking how we play now sets the tone for how we're going to play a week and a half from now. Matter of fact, let's hear from Rod Brindamore, the head coach, on building momentum over these final road games.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's one way to say it. That's the coach speech. That's certainly the way to talk about it. What's important is to keep doing it right, and for us to, obviously you want to get better every day and working on the little things and set us up for whatever the playoffs start. So that's the way we got to look at it.
You want to hear a coach struggling against all struggle to not say, I really don't care how these next 3 games go. He's aware of it just like everyone else is aware of it. The Canes cannot be judged based on their regular season. They've done everything they can do in the regular season. This season is their 3rd consecutive 50-win season in the regular season. it's all about the postseason. They just have to play 3 more games to get there, which puts them in a little bit of an awkward situation going up against St. Louis.
So this team is closer to the end of its season than at the beginning of the season, and it has gone through a metamorphosis of changes, whether it's in goal, whether it's trying to get Andrei Svechnikov and Sebastian Aho uncorked, which one has done so much, and Svech is coming on late, as you have seen, and you have prophesized that Andrei Svechnikov will certainly have this surge at the end of the season, which is good news for him. We're not talking about goalies anymore. We're talking about at the end of the season. And you talk about St. Louis being the caged animal, right? The kid that's they're going to come into this thing and come rolling at him. And Rod downplays that, right? He's like, it's just the end of the year. We got to get going. Momentum. Yeah, you could talk about those kinds of things. Here's what happened last night in the NHL in the spoiler role. And the crazy part about the Carolina Hurricanes right now is that they are in the spoiler role. They are. Buffalo came out last night, and I think the Canes could apply that tonight too. Be really physical with St. Louis. Buffalo last night pushed the Washington Capitals around so much. And the Capitals are in the same spot that the St. Louis Blues are in, trying to find themselves getting into that last wild card position in their conference. Buffalo came out and played smash mouth hockey so much at the end of that game. It was a full 5-minute brawl involving short-time former Carolina Hurricanes forward Max Pacioretty, who was in there swinging and trying to defend his guy.
Who looked healthy.
Right. Regardless of what happens in that game, they are in that role. The New York Islanders also feel like they're in that role too, trying to help out, honestly trying to help out the Canes as they play the Rangers tomorrow. So you see the Canes in an interesting spot here where they're trying to downplay the momentum, but suddenly can find themselves, and I hate using the word bully, but kind of in that bully role where they can say, you know what, St. Louis, screw you. We don't want you in the playoffs. We'll do our own thing because we know we're going there.
You're right, because you can kind of play both sides of it there, where you can motivate yourself by the situation they're in. Right, you can be a competitor that's saying, well, why should we give these guys a free pass to 2 points and closing the gap on Vegas? That's not cool. But also, I do think how they play, like if they're the bullies in this one, I think it's more likely they're the bullies in game 1 of their postseason. Right, part of it is you are what you repeatedly do, and you don't want to change what you repeatedly have done all year for the last 3. So. Maybe the coach speak, there's a reason why it's coach speak, right? And Rod Brindamore is going, we could get, momentum, sure. That's the coach speak. That's the speech I'm going to give in the locker room. A lot of times those coach speak things start with a grain of truth, which is, you know what? The teams that play well in the postseason are usually the ones that don't care if a game matters or not. They're just the competitors. They're the bullies. They just want to exert their dominance over somebody else because they're more dominant than somebody else.
Rod's looking at us in the media and us sitting here at the aluminum company,
patting us on the head,
right?
And saying, "Oh, you cute media people."
Yeah, probably too. Because if I put my small shoes into his larger shoes, and I go, what's most meaningful for my team right now? Staying healthy, staying on the ice. Yeah, getting some wins. I'm okay with losses as long as it's not a bad loss and we don't look foolish out there and just get blasted, or my goalies do something stupid. Play the right way, do the right things, because at the end of the day, when you get into the postseason, he doesn't care if it's a win on the road or if it's a win at home. He doesn't care if it's home ice advantage or they play everything on the road. He's like, a win is a win, no matter where we get it. We're going to play good hockey every single night in every one of these things, because there are short-term memories in that locker room, and they know how close they were last year to taking one more step and playing 2 more weeks later into the summer.
I would argue this. I think there is a difference in this game than the past, but it's super minute, and it's pretty much only Rod, which means if you put Sebastian Aho, and we're going to use him as the example because he's Sebastian Aho. If you put Sebastian Aho on the ice, he doesn't know 80%, right? He knows Sebastian Aho's speed. I think you might have him on the ice for 17 minutes rather than 21 and a half, and that's a decision Rod can make to not throttle down, but make sure his guys are fresh. But then if those 4 minutes are going to Jack Drury's on the ice for those 4 minutes, and he's going 100%. Whoever's out there is trying to do the best they can and not being protective, not trying not to get hurt, which I actually think usually leads to getting hurt, and not a head on a swivel. So the guys that are out there are going to be trying to win. St. Louis at home with what's on the stake for them is going to be bringing the noise, and I'm going to be watching, because when the noise is brought with the Canes, it's usually pretty darn entertaining.